Okay, now when discussing tangent angles, we want to be able to look at our key thing. The key thing that you want to be able to see here is your reference angle. Your reference angle shows you how to set up the sides and label the sides of a triangle. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, here we go, come on. Let's look at this. This is our reference angle is the angle we're going to use to solve. The other thing we're going to say here is our hypotenuse. Is that how you spell it? Hypotenuse, is anyone a good speller? There you go. No H. Hypotenuse. Longest side. Opposite to 90-degree angle. Meaning the angle does not touch it. The other one we're going to look at is our adjacent. Side near, nearest to the reference angle. Always want to be able to do the hypotenuse first. It's the longest side always. Second thing we're going to look at is this, the angle that the adjacent angle will be the side closest to the angle. And then we're going to look at the last one, which is opposite that doesn't touch the angle. We good? The first thing we want to be able to do is just show you guys how to set up. And we've already done a lot of these, but we're just going to practice again. Because if you can learn how to set these up, the rest of the week is going to go by really easy. Friday's quiz will be extremely easy. Trust me, it'll be extremely easy. So let's look at this. Do me a favor and copy down this problem. We're going to copy down both of them. Because they are different. They are different in their own respective ways. So we do want to be able to see a difference in these. The first thing we got to be able to do is we got to find out what type of angle we're asking for, meaning what is our reference angle. In the problem to the left, let's label this just as 1. In problem number 1, what angle are we going to be using? R. So what I want you guys to do is highlight that angle, because it does make a difference when you do that. This is the angle we're going to look at. We got to look from the perspective of angle R. The second thing we got to be able to do, and we know we got to know something as well. From the topic, we know that tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side, or O over adjacent. This is the equation that we're essentially going to use. Okay, so we got to be able to label all of our sides, O, A, and H. You're going to do that every single time you do one of these. What is the longest side? 4 is bigger than 5? SR is the longest side, so we always consider that being the hypotenuse, or H. H is a hypotenuse. The side closest to the angle, so this is why I want you guys to highlight this. If this side is already done, the side closest to this has to be the adjacent. This is the adjacent, so we're going to say this is A. That leaves the side that it opens up to is going to be the opposite. O, A, and H. So we want to be able to write this as a ratio. What ratio are we going to use? Opposite over adjacent, so O over A. What's our opposite? So tangent of our angle, R, we don't know what R is, it's just a variable, is what? 4 over 3. Now, what have we done? If I told you to solve for the angle, would we be done? No, because this is just a setup to it, just like we would have to cross multiply when we did it last week. Now, we're not done that. I'm not going to show you guys how to do that because it involves a little bit more. It involves something that you guys haven't worked with. It's called inverse. It's not that difficult, but it involves something new. So we're going to do that. We're going to probably do that on Thursday. But if you can set this up, it's actually easy once you know how to set it up. Now, we use R for this reference angle. What is this number 2 going to ask us to use? S. So let's look at S for this ratio. So now let's solve for tangent of S. So I'm going to highlight it again. This angle is going through both of these parts right here. We got to be able to label everything. So as long as you're able to label things correctly, we're going to be good. What's the longest side? So what do we consider that? Hypotenuse. Always a hypotenuse on the longest side. The side closest to this, so if this is not, this side is, we're talking about this angle, the longest side is going to be the hypotenuse. That means the side closest to the angle has to be A, or adjacent. That means the opposite side has to be 3, or O. We want to be able to write the tangent of S is going to be what? 3 over. Now again, we're not done solving technically. If you wrote this down in a test, it would be technically incorrect because we're not done solving. Because what is it really asking us to solve for? Not a decimal, it's asking us to solve for angle R. We're trying to solve for the variable, right? But I haven't showed you guys how to do that. You guys do not know how to do that. Okay, we don't know how to do that yet. And we're not going to until we know how to set up the ratios. If you can set up the ratios, then this week is going to be easy. If this is easy to you, this week is easy for you. Okay? What do we know? We're using tangent on both of them, but we're using different angles. What do we know about our ending? 4 over 3 and 3 over 4. What do we know that to be? What do we call that? The reciprocal of each other, right? They're the reciprocal of each other. And it should be that way because if we're looking at this angle R, it's definitely different than angle S. So the numbers we plug in have to be different. I think the only time it's ever going to work out that way is if we have, I think, 45, 45, 90, but don't worry about that. I want you guys to try this problem out. Try this one out. Give me the setup. Send me up the ratios. Write out the ratios for these. Same triangle, different reference angle. Same triangle, different reference angle. What's our reference angle for our first one? J. So because we're using J, we have to make sure that we're labeling these correctly. The longest side is the easiest one to do. We always consider that to be what? The hypotenuse, so 13. The side closest to the angle that's not the hypotenuse is always going to be the, so which one is it, 5 or 12? 12. That means 5 has to be the opposite. What's the equation we want to use? Tangent of our angle is going to be what? O over A. Opposite over adjacent. What's the ratio then? What's the fraction we're getting? What is tangent of J? 5 over 12. What do you think the other one's going to be without even doing it? 12 over 5. So let's see. Let's just check that. We're using reference K. What's the hypotenuse? What's the adjacent side? What is the opposite side? So again, it depends on the reference angle we're referring to. Tangent of K is going to be what? 12 over 5. You have 6 type of D problems today on homework. Easy? You're not really solving, you're just showing me. Right, yes. I'm okay. I would like for you to, yeah. Yeah. Just do it for now. Until you could probably just look at it. You should get to a point where you're able to, like on the test, on this test, if you just give me the rate, I'm okay with that. But just until we get to the sine and cosine. Yeah. Then you can take it when we get back. You're fine. That's not been an issue. Yeah, so you could probably just look at it and do it now, right? So that's fine. But just for the time being, because we're going to look at other trig ratios. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and that's all we're doing. So depending on what information is given to us, we have to use a specific type. Okay? Here we go. Now, let's apply this knowledge. Let's look at a specific type of problem for this. So we're going to skip here. Let's look at this one here. So copy this one down. This is the actual solving part to it. This is actually using trig to solve. How many people give me so far? How many people are just like, oh, this is pretty simple. I can do this straightforward, set it up with the ratio, and we're good to go. You good? Okay. Good. We're okay? We're okay? Okay, it's simple, right? Simple, right? Okay, let's try to work some of these problems out. Okay, and you have 6 setting up the ratios, you have 4 solving. 6 setting up 4, how many problems is that? 10. Easy. 10. 10. Okay. Now, what's our reference angle? What angle was given to us? 24. We want to be able to use this reference angle because it gives us an actual value. We don't have any variables, or we don't have little A, B, and C. It gives us angles. So we got to be able to use the angles that are provided. Now, we want to be able to set up the ratios. We want to be able to show what tangent is. What was tangent? Tangent was our angle equal to what? This is key for today. You got to know this. And there's an acronym we use for this. SOHCAHTOA. TOA, TOA, tangent over opposite over adjacent. Welcome. We're going to get it. Okay. What's the first thing I should do for this?
You should find the
Label.
Yeah.
Label our sides. What's going to be that hypotenuse, even though it's not labeled with the side? What's going to the longest side? So what's the longest side to us? The top. It's going to be H. What about the opposite side? What's the opposite? X. Our adjacent side? 19. So let's write this ratio. Let's do this ratio. It's going to be tangent of what? What angle value? 24. So we want to be able to use that angle value. Is equal to our what? It is important that you guys realize that it's going to be opposite over adjacent, not 19 over x. It's going to mess you up. Now, if you guys have a calculator, please pull out your calculator. I will show you guys. Now, if you guys have an Android, this is what you guys come up with. If you guys have an Apple product, I'm going to show you guys this one too. In order for you to get to your tangents, to your trig ratios, you've got to turn it. You've got to be able to turn it. You're going to see sine, cosine, and tangent. Tangent, the ones we're going to use. Now, if you have a Apple product, can you blow up the contrast? I promise I won't click off. Look at you beings. What you get here is when you turn it onto the side. Now, if you do this already in your Android phone, you're good. In the bottom corner right here, if it says RAD, don't touch anything. It means we're in degrees. If it says DEG, press DEG. It should say RAD, and you can go back and forth to them. If you press it, DEG and RAD are going to be changing. Okay? So that's what we wanted. We want it to say RAD. Now, what we're going to do first is we want to be able to calculate what tangent of 24 is. It's not tangent times 24. We're plugging in what 24 means into tangent. So do me a favor. If you have an Android, you're going to type tangent 24 equals. So it looks exactly like this on your equation. If you have an Android, you're going to hit 24 tangent. But you're going to do the exact opposite. If you have an iPhone, you're going to do 24 tangent. If you have an Android, you're going to do tangent 24. Now, what value did we get from here? 0.44. We're just going to go to the first two decimals. All we're getting to is we're going to convert that fraction, that ratio into just a fraction. What do we do from here? You remember from last time? Cross multiply. We can always put the whole number over 1. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply these values. So 0.44 times 19, 1 times x. So we're going to get, what are we going to get? What are these here? 8.36 is equal to x. So what is the length of x? 8.36. Done. Is this easy or hard? That's it. Cool beans? Yeah? Easy. Let's look at another one. Let's do these two. Nope, not going to do that one. Not going to do that one. Copy down these two. Two separate problems. Let's say this is example A, example B. So now we're using our trig ratios to solve for the length of the sides. This is what we want to be able to see from that. What's our reference angle for example A? So we're going to have, just to set this up, we're always going to use the tangent of an angle is equal to opposite over adjacent. So what's my first step on doing this? Label, right? Label. What will be x equal to? What's x? A. What is 13? Opposite. That means the last side has to be. Now I'm just trying to trick you guys up so I can see if you're going to do it that way. Okay. I want you guys to be able to get it. Okay. I would do the longest side first, then I would do adjacent, then I would do opposite. So writing this, what would I write? I would write what? Tangent of what? 41 is equal to?
0.82.
Oh, not yet. Give me the ratio first. 13 over x. Then what do I do from here? I would find the fraction first. Easier. You could, but I like to do the fraction after. I like to do the fraction first. So because this is where I see a lot of mistakes happen. This is the reason why. A lot of mistakes happen when you do the tangent and you guys freak out because you now just find me what the tangent is. Let's simplify out the best we can. What is the tangent of 41? 0.86. You don't need a round, just give me 0.86. Give me the first two decimal. Is equal to 13 over x. What do I do here now? Cross multiply. Beautiful. So we're going to cross multiply here. I'm going to get 0.86. X is equal to what? 13. Am I done? No, we still got to solve for x. So I'm going to do what? By 0.86 to both sides. X is going to be equal, because we have our 8.6 crossing out, is going to be what? 15.11. Easy, right? Perfect. Did we do the other one already? Some of you guys? Let's do it together so we can get you guys your homework. How much more time? We got 60 more minutes. We're going to do 2 more and then we're done. Get you guys your homework time to do it. What's our reference angle? 22. What is the hypotenuse? Top, bottom, or right? Top. 16 will be our adjacent. That means this side has to be the opposite. Write me the ratio now. What's the ratio going to give me? We're going to write what? One more time. Tan of 22. Tan of 22. Yeah, good. Is equal to x over. Beautiful. What do I do now? You can cross multiply, but what do I do first? It's okay. You're jumping ahead. I like that. What do we do? Find the decimal. What is tangent of 22? 0.46? 0. Point.
No,
0.40.
0.40? Okay. Then what do? Now we cross multiply. I'm going to put this over 1. This is going to give me x is equal to 0.4 times 16, or now really quick before we kind of move on, and I'll show you guys the other two. What makes these two problems different? How about this? An easier way to say this is, what problem is easier to do? The blue or the red one? Why blue? Because you don't have to divide at the end. Does it matter where the x is? Yeah, because it depends on your setup. In this problem, we get up here, you guys got down here, we had to cross multiply, and we had to simplify out by dividing out to solve. One more extra step, right? This one was nice because once we multiplied, boom, we got our answer. So some of them are going to be a little easier than others. Just keep that in mind. Cool? 2 more problems and then we're done, yeah? Then we get homework done. Here we go. Does it help going over this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Do me a favor and try these 2 out. Now the 73 is in this upper corner. We know it to be in the upper corner. So try those 2 out. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Skip November? I love November. They should do like another 2 weeks of school. Or 3 weeks. So give me like 3 weeks of December. I'll add on next week. So easy. Give me 3 weeks of winter break. Give me an extra week. Give me 2 weeks of summer school. Or 2 weeks of spring break. And I'll stay here for an extra 2 weeks. I'm done. Right? It just makes it longer. It makes it nicer. Instead of having you get a week off for your Thanksgiving break. You're like, dude, that wasn't even wrong. 2 weeks is the first week you're just trying to catch up to relaxing. And then the second week you can relax. But you can only have enough time to oh.
It's after volume board. Forgot what relaxing is.
We're already, week 9?
Week 10.
Am I so fast?
Fast. Let's go by faster. I'm only waiting freshman year. I'm just I hate every one. This one is second year.
God, this is really windy, huh?
I don't know. My friends just don't want to tell me. You don't want this one? I don't know your first name. That's how much I watch you. Call it is rebuilt. If you know.
How many of my calculators are on the desk? Can you guys just hold them up in the air real quick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Sorry. Again, if you have my calculator somewhere, please bring it back to my classroom. Greatly appreciated. Let's do this. Let's set this one up. Hopefully you guys did it. You solved for the angles. Do you want me to show everything? Are we okay? Or do you want me to skip around to do it faster? Skip around. We're using tangent. What tangent angle am I going to use? What's going to be the ratio?
16 over x. 16 over x.
16 over x. When you solve this, we're going to get x, if I can, is, or 3.2, sorry. Oh, I should just erase that. Give me a second. We're going to do 3.27 is equal to 16x. Cross multiply, we're going to get 3.27x is equal to 16. Dividing out, we get what? 4.89. How many of us got that? Right on. Kudos. What do we get for the other one? Let's look at the next one. I'm going to do this one in purple. Tangent of what angle? 68. Jumping too far ahead. My ratio, I'm going to use for the other side? 19 over x. Solving this out, we're going to get what is tangent of 68? 2.47x is equal to 19. When we divide out by both sides, we're going to get x is equal to
7.69.
Is this easy or hard? Easy, right? Find your reference angle, label the parts, plug it into the equation, solve. That's how it's going to be all this week. Very simple, very easy. Cool. Cool beans? Let's go, and using sine and cosine are going to be very straightforward as well. So once you get this, the other ones are going to be easy. Here is your homework. So going back to me not giving you guys stuff, so here you go. Don't freak out. This is going to be 1 through 6. And this is choose. Don't take a picture yet. Give me a second. Choose 4. If you want more practice, do them all. No extra credit. No extra credit. No. Again, if you guys go on School Loop, can someone go on School Loop for me? Can someone do that for me? Because I'm gonna, you already have it. Yeah, go to School Loop for me. I'm just gonna show you guys something real quick. So, really quick, guys, really quick. Give me a second. I like that. I don't know why some people, my wife hasn't seen them yet. Now, do me a favor, please look up at this. Now, when you guys do this, these are going to be posted every day for you. So something a little bit different that I want to try out. When you go into your assignments, if you go back one, this is what you guys are going to see. Okay, you're going to have your assignments. You're going to see, it's going to tell you tangent. So you're going to click on it. It gives you the PowerPoint and it gives you the homework. When you click on the homework, you can download this or print this off at home if you want to. You won't be able to do it the day before, but that's the assignment. You can zoom in. Right, copy it on the phone that way. Does that make sense? You can do it multiple ways. You can either take a picture in class to get it, or you can go to school and copy it on the phone zip. Is that cool? Print it. Copy, paste, print, whatever way you can get it. Huh? Your phone? Or copy it down. Copy down the 6 problems, and then copy down the 4 more that you need. You gotta go into the school. won't be able to come out to do it. You won't be able to do it. In fact, then all you gotta do is you have your work on the, you have your work, you show your work on paper. You put it on the second job, you show your work on it, and just state your paper. You're done, right? Once you write your answers on a piece of paper, you can do it too. However way you're getting that information. Right? What's up? Guys, go into work. Or something that's wrong here. I think you guys all of it. Give you the last 30 seconds. Guys, go out there, homework. Go out there, homework. Guys, the only reason why I want you guys to work, do I need to ask you to do 15 of them? No. I'm just asking you guys to do 10. The only reason why the teachers ask you guys to do it is because if the administrators walking in and see you guys doing nothing, who's going to be in trouble, you or me? Me. And if I get in trouble, you're going to get in trouble. So just do some problems. Look what you're doing with. I don't care. I don't know why you guys don't want to do it now, because some of you guys should have just done it before. You should have just done it before. Yeah, 1 through 6 for sure. And then 4 on the roll. Yes. I want you guys to label it. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect, but I want you guys to label it. It's important that you guys do it. Go!
Let me tell you, my freshman relationship is not gonna last. I guarantee you it right now. Ew, he's ugly. I know, she's so ugly. He's perfect personality wise.
Yeah, I might be driving.
So we'll see you, buddy.